Picture this. You're a Soviet citizen. 1937. Ordinary person. You keep your head down, do your job, go home. You're careful about what you say because it's Stalin's Russia. You think careful is enough. Then 3 men knock on your door at 3 a.m. You're given a 5-minute trial. No lawyer, no evidence, no real chance to speak. Someone reads the charges. You say it isn't true. They nod and sentence you to 10 years of corrective labor. Before you know what's going on, they ship you to Siberia, hand you a pickaxe, and point you toward a gold mine at the edge of the known world. 14 hours a day, in temperatures that will hit minus 60 degrees Celsius this winter, on 400 calories of food. The guard who processes you doesn't look at your face when he hands you the pickaxe. Not because he's cruel, though some of them are, just because he stopped learning the faces of people who won't be here in 6 months. Welcome to Kolyma. Hey there, this one won't be pretty. Before we get into what starvation and minus 60 degrees Celsius does to a human body, here are 3 things about Kolyma most people don't know. Fact 1. The gold mined at Kolyma helped fund Stalin's entire industrialization of the Soviet Union. At its peak, the mines produced about 80 tons of gold per year, all of it extracted by hand, by prisoners, by people who were there because someone reported them for telling a joke. The Soviet Union's rise as a superpower was literally built on slave labor, and nobody in Russia learns that in school. Most still don't. Fact 2. There's a highway that runs through the Kolyma region called the Road of Bones. 2,000 kilometers of road built entirely by prisoners using shovels and wheelbarrows in permafrost and minus 50 degrees Celsius temperatures. When prisoners died during construction, and they died constantly, the guards didn't stop to bury them. The bodies went into the foundations. The road is named after what's inside it. People drive on it today. Fact 3. The entire system was designed to kill you on a specific timeline. One of the architects of the gulag labor system, a camp commander named Naftali Frankel, reportedly summed up the official philosophy in one sentence. We have to squeeze everything out of a prisoner in the first 3 months. After that, we don't need him anymore. That wasn't a dark joke. That was policy. The food rations, the work quotas, the calorie calculations, all of it was engineered so that a prisoner was most productive in the first 3 months before their body gave out. So how did we get here? Stalin comes to power in the late 1920s with a problem. The Soviet Union is enormous, agricultural, and way behind the industrial West. He needs to fix that fast. His solution is forced industrialization. Build factories, mines, railways, cities, all of it, immediately, in places no sane person would voluntarily go. Siberia, the Arctic, the far eastern edge of the map. The labor source he lands on is simple: prisoners. And if you need more prisoners, you just arrest more people. The Great Terror of 1936 to 1938 was essentially a nationwide manhunt where the secret police were given arrest quotas, actual numerical targets. Go find this many enemies of the state this month. So they did. Teachers, engineers, farmers, military officers, anyone. The charges were almost always the same: anti-Soviet activity. A law so vague it could mean anything from actual espionage to owning the wrong book. Trials lasted minutes. Sentences were 10 to 25 years. At its peak, the Gulag held around 2.5 million prisoners across hundreds of camps. Kolyma was the worst of them, the most remote, the coldest. Gold had been discovered there, and Stalin wanted it. A state organization called Dalstroy was set up specifically to run the region, reporting directly to Stalin's inner circle, which meant even less oversight than the regular camps, which already had essentially none. Getting there took weeks. Cattle cars across the entire width of the Soviet Union, then a ship across one of the coldest bodies of water on Earth. Prisoners called these the death ships. The ones who survived arrived at the port of Magadan, were handed a padded jacket and a pickaxe, and pointed toward the mines. Kolyma ran from 1932 until the late 1950s. By then, somewhere between 1.5 and 3 million people had died there, in one region. Russia has never fully reckoned with it. Most Russians still don't learn about it in school. So you arrived at the Gulag. Let's look at how your life there looked like. The barracks were wooden structures built for maybe 50 people, holding 200 to 300. No real insulation. The heat from a single stove in the center barely reached the walls where most people slept. You slept in your clothes because if you took them off, someone would steal them, and also because you would freeze. The smell was extraordinary. Hundreds of unwashed people in an enclosed space with one bucket for a toilet. Food was 400 to 800 calories a day. For context, a normal adult doing light activity needs around 2,000, except Americans who eat around 3,500 to 4,000 calories a day. So, if you are tired after work, even though you ate McDonald's for breakfast and Wendy's for lunch, imagine how you would feel mining on 400 calories, which is just one McChicken sandwich for reference. You were doing 14 hours of hard physical labor in minus 60 degrees Celsius temperatures. The work itself was gold mining, which in a modern mine with equipment is brutal enough. At Colima, it was you, a pickaxe, frozen ground, and a quota. You had to extract a certain amount of ore per day. If you didn't meet your quota, your food ration got cut, which made you weaker, which made it harder to meet your quota, which cut your ration further. It was a deliberately engineered death spiral, not an accident of the system working exactly as intended. And here's where the body starts breaking down in very specific ways. Frostbite first. It starts at the extremities. Fingers, toes, nose, ears. The tissue freezes. Ice crystals form inside the cells, rupturing them. The skin goes white, then waxy, then black. If it gets bad enough, the tissue dies entirely. Prisoners lost fingers, toes, entire hands. Then starvation, which in extreme cold works faster than it does anywhere else because your body is burning calories just trying to maintain core temperature. First, your body burns fat, what little there is. Then it starts consuming muscle. Your arms and legs thin down to almost nothing, while your stomach distends. Your immune system collapses. Scurvy sets in. Your gums bleed. Your teeth loosen. Wounds stop healing. Pellagra causes your skin to crack and bleed. Your vision deteriorates. Your joints swell. Everything hurts all the time, with a dull, persistent ache that never goes away. The Russians had a word for the final stage, dochodyaga, roughly translated as goner. It described a prisoner who had wasted away past the point of no return. You could spot them immediately. Skeletal, shuffling, eyes completely empty. Not sick in a way that might get better, just finished. Still technically alive, but already gone. Other prisoners learned not to get attached to a dochodyaga. It was a waste of the emotional energy they couldn't afford to spend. Most of them were dead within weeks. So what does any of this actually feel like from the inside? The first thing survivors describe is disbelief. You're an educated person, you've done nothing wrong. This is clearly a mistake that will be corrected once the right person looks at your file. That belief keeps you sane in the first weeks. It's also what destroys you when it breaks. And it always breaks. Maybe month 2, maybe month 3. The moment you realize nobody is coming. Survivors describe that moment as more devastating than the physical conditions. The cold you can fight, the hunger you can push through. But the moment hope disappears, something goes with it that rarely comes back. The cold does strange things to your mind. At minus 60 degrees Celsius, thought slows down. Decision-making becomes almost impossible. Some people describe a warm, floating euphoria setting in during the worst of it. That's hypothermia. That peaceful feeling is your brain shutting down, which is exactly what makes it deadly. You don't fight something that feels like relief. The hunger becomes the only thing. Every thought leads back to food. Prisoners dreamed about meals they'd eaten years ago in precise detail and woke up to nothing. Survivors describe one of the most frightening moments as when you can't remember what food tasted like anymore, when your body has given up even on wanting it. And then there's what the camp does to your ability to connect with other people. You didn't make friends because friends died or got transferred or informed on you for a better ration. You learned not to show weakness. You learned to be completely alone inside a barracks packed with hundreds of people. Survivors say this: the slow death of the ability to trust another human being was the hardest thing to recover from. Some never did.